And it's sort of based loosely on, in our neighborhood, I have a fictional character who does this, but in our neighborhood when I was growing up, I was a little bitty kid, but I absolutely had a thing about, I just love animals, stupidly love animals. And the bigger kids who could just beat the snot out of me, were going around shooting birds with BB guns. And I, being arrogant, stood up to them and told them, stop, you can't do it, I'm not going to let you do it anymore. And they asked me, they said, who are you? Who do you think you are? You the god of birds? And my answer was, I thought about it, I thought, well, you know, maybe God's kind of busy and he doesn't have time to deal with little things like that, so that's why he put me here. So yeah, maybe I am. And, but it deals with all kinds of stuff. Since I always want to sell a book, even ones I haven't read, it is good. Where I'm talking about my mom and dad, I usually don't have this much of an accent, but it's just really coming out. Any other questions?
What's
Yes,
the
sir.
cost to make a book? I mean, it's paperback versus the hardcover. What's it cost you?
What, the cost of the book?
No, what does it cost you? You know,
Me to publish it?
Yeah, but I mean, what do you have to pay the people to do it for? I mean,
Oh no, they pay me.
Oh, they pay you.
Yeah,
I don't know how it works. That's how I was asking.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the thing. They pay me. In fact, we got a really good deal from Ballantine for 24/7 in Black Valley. And oddly enough, I got a great deal, a 6-figure deal from Bantam. But I liked, Bantam was going to do it all in paperback and not in hardcover, and I wanted to go in hardcover because I thought it would help everything else. So we took the smaller of the two offers to go in. But yeah, that's the good thing about it. And the fun thing about it is, my dad finds it hilarious because suddenly they'll sell the rights to the book somewhere, and suddenly I get money. And it's sort of like working one day, so more than one day, but you work for a year, but you get paychecks down the road. It's a great way to make a living. So you had a question?
Yeah, what's the hardest part of the writing process that you find? Beginning, starting, middle?
Well, the idea is not a problem. I have in my computer right now over 100. I have something I call doorknobs. Again, I'm a weird guy. And it's sort of like somebody gives you a doorknob and you build a house to go with it. And that's what my doorknobs are. And they're little germs of ideas that grow into something else. And usually when I build it, I can put the doorknob back and end up not using it. So I've got hundreds of ideas. And I then whittle them down. Like the book Boom I wrote, I sent 25 ideas to my agent. And I said, what do you think's the best? And he thought, he's a young guy, so he liked that one as excitement. And the new book that I'm writing, I'm trying something a little different with it. When I write, the hardest part of writing is this. When I'm writing the book, Catherine is my first reader. So I can't tell her what I'm writing about. I can't tell her about the plot or the characters much. I can't tell her that, oh, this guy's a bad guy and this guy is going to turn out good. And I'm thinking of killing this person this way. I can't share all that because I want her to be surprised when she reads it. So that means for about a year, I'm working my butt off, and all I can say is, good day or a bad day. And so that's the hardest part of the writing. So what I'm trying different with this new book, which is entitled Decoding Geronimo, what I'm working with it is, we're going to try something different. I'm running the plot by Catherine, and I'm going to talk her all the way through it. Now that means she'll be my first reader, but she won't be able to read it pure. She'll know what's happening. But what I've discovered is it has accelerated the writing process by several months, because where ordinarily I tend to have the problem of having too many ideas and I don't know which one to pick, and I go back and forth. But because I'm able to say it out loud and run it by something, and like she might go, oh, that sucks. All right, I won't waste any more time on that. I'll move in this direction. So this has been a lot of fun. So it would be not being able to talk to people while I'm doing the writing process. And also you spend a lot of time, in journalism I was with people all the time. I'm by myself all the time. I spend a lot of time inside my head. Now the good news is there's a lot of room. The bad news is there's a bit of an echo. But, so I guess that'd be about the hardest thing.
So you are a full-time writer?
I'm a full-time writer.
So are you developing the plot first or the characters? Or do you let the characters take on their own personalities after you're...
Well, that's a real good question. What I'm doing now is that I actually kind of outline the book. And I come up with, I have to name the characters. It's absolutely crucial. If I don't name the characters, I can't write them. And if I change their name, some part of the book, it just kills me because I keep calling them the original name. And I have to get them in my head that way. So I come up with an outline, and then when I write the book, I ignore the outline, and I follow the story. I have the characters roughly in my head, but as I write the characters, it's like the first chapter is always just a matter of getting things down, because I know I'm going to rewrite it. By the end of the book, I'll know the characters so well, I know what they will and won't do. But the characters certainly influence the novel. They sometimes won't do things. And I go, it's on my outline, and they just won't do it. And they'll do things that surprise you a lot of times, and every writer will tell you that. And it's one of the best feelings. But I had this happen once. I'm a nut about being on time for stuff. And I was rushing to work, and I was running late, and I had to stop in for gas. And this is in Oregon. And in Oregon, by the way, if you don't know, you can't pump your own gas. You have to have somebody come. So that means if there are 3 cars, there's 1 attendant, you have to wait. So I'm having to wait. The guy comes, he pumps my gas. This tells you, as a while ago, it comes to $2.35, you know, which was a couple of gallons back then. And I'm thinking, what the devil? And then I remember, I wasn't out of gas. It was somebody in my book that was out of gas. And it wasn't even an important plot point. It was just some of that information that I knew that nobody else knew.
Well, Sharon's